Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? Hope you are having an amazing day and not having to deal with drama. Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first one. And don't forget to listen to the end of the story, guys, to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. I, 33 male, have always known that I was the favorite child of all my siblings. 27 male, 25 female, and 23 male. I always got the best things, while my siblings got my hand-me-downs. I had the largest number of gifts and the most attention. All of this mostly because I'm quite gifted academically. Once, I didn't get a favorable grade, and my younger brother was blamed because he had been playing music when I was studying, which was absolutely untrue, and I tried to explain it to my parents, but got grounded. During university, I had a full scholarship, so my college fund remained mostly untouched. When it was time for my brother to go to university, he called me sobbing. My parents only saved for me and not my siblings. I gave him what remained of my fund, adding enough to the amount to get him through university. My sister got a partial scholarship, and I paid the rest and living expenses. Both of them went no contact with our parents after moving out, and I don't blame them. I myself am low contact with them. My bond with my brother and sister has improved a lot since then, and we actually get along pretty well. My youngest brother decided he would take some gap years before going to university. Our parents and him traveled the country and abroad during this time. My parents had sent me loads of pictures of the three of them having fun, with the son who actually cared, and that I was a disappointment. When my youngest brother finally decided to go to university, he approached me and I agreed to pay. Here's why I stopped. A few days ago, I got tagged in a video clip of him drunk and cussing me out. I messaged him later that I was extremely hurt, but he brushed me off, saying he didn't mean it. I let it go. A few days ago, I met one of his friends from university, and it turns out he had failed all his classes and was planning to drop out. I immediately called him, and after a lot of questioning, he finally confessed that he wanted to drop out. On being asked what he would do, he simply said I should support him and give him a monthly allowance. The amount he said was an average monthly salary in our area, due to emotionally damaging him. He said our parents had paid their dues, and I still had to pay mine. I told him that I won't, under any circumstances, just give him money for nothing, and hung up. Since then, I'm being blasted with messages from my parents and youngest brother, calling me selfish and an a-hole for not supporting my brother. My other brother is with me on this, but my sister said I should at least consider it, and if I can't, then she will support him, which I feel bad about because I am a much higher earner than her and could probably spare money, while she has her own husband and child to look out for. Am I the a-hole? OP made up for his parents' neglect of his siblings by paying for school. While it was not OP's obligation to do so, it was extremely generous and likely healed a bit of hurt from the older sibs. Also, the emotional damage was done by OP's parents, not OP. But that's the point. OP is not obligated. And I'm also getting the weird feeling here that OP wasn't the golden child for free. And now let's hear the community's opinion. Lizzie says, not the a-hole at all. That is ridiculous. You don't owe any of your siblings anything and have already gone above and beyond. Youngest brother needs to get a job and learn how to support himself. Barry120 says, not the a-hole. You've absolutely gone above and beyond to support your siblings already, and your youngest brother is now simply trying to take advantage of you. No one has a right to call you selfish for not supporting him. If they want to see him supported financially, then that's up to them to provide that support. Bist says, not the a-hole, and all of your siblings need therapy to deal with the consequences of having such awful parents. But you most certainly should not support your feckless younger brother. Your younger brother is now the golden child. Let your parents deal with him. My 33 male, wife Sarah, 32 female, is the love of my life. She's a woman of charm, grace, beauty, and accomplishment. I met her through mutual friends 6 years ago who thought that we'd be a good fit. At first, Sarah didn't seem to be too impressed with me, but as we chatted, she warmed up to me, and we even exchanged numbers. We went on a date and had an amazing time. That turned into another date, which turned into us dating and then eventually marriage. Sarah is such a warm, caring person who helped me through some tough times and was always there to pick me up, dust me off, pat me on the back, and help me forward. I thought she would be the woman I'd raise a family with and grow old together with, but maybe that isn't the case. Last week, I was clearing our driveway from snow when I came back in the house to take a piss. and overheard a phone conversation between Sarah and a friend of hers. Our house is very echoey, and I don't think she realized I was in the house because she thought I was still clearing the driveway. Recently, her friend broke up with her long-term boyfriend because she didn't feel like they were a long-term match. That's when Sarah said unprompted, and I quote, because it was burned into my brain, "I mean, it's a good thing you did this now. You don't want to end up with your second or third option like I did." I swear I thought she was joking, but from the tone of her voice, I could tell she wasn't. Something told me to pull out my phone and record, so I did. The conversation continued with her saying, "He's not the love of my life, but I do love him." And I guess the most damning of them all, if Paul, her ex, wasn't so terrified of marriage, I'd probably still be with him. She did conclude by saying that she really did love me, but it wasn't head over heels love, and that she thought I was a great husband and would be a good father someday. I have this all on recording. I was confused and flustered in that moment that I forgot I had to pee and went back outside to continue clearing the driveway. Inside, I was destroyed. I felt like a zombie just going through the motions. When I finished up, I went back inside and I finally looked at her, and I just felt empty. She smiled at me, but I didn't give her one back. She asked me what was wrong, so I just told her I was sick. That night, I just stuck to myself and didn't say much. The next day, over some beers, I asked my best friend in the world, 33 male, 34 female, what they thought of the recording, and they immediately said to divorce. My friend Ashley, 34 female, said, "If a woman admits that she doesn't love you more than her ex, there's nothing more to say." A day later, I brought this to my sister and parents, who took the opposite approach. They said I should listen to her words carefully, and that she said she does love me, that she chose to commit to me, and that even though I'm not her soulmate, I shouldn't take commitment and an admission of love so lightly. I've been faking being okay at home, and I don't think I can keep up the act much longer. She's been extremely suspicious since that day, and constantly asks me if anything is wrong. I have no idea what to do, but I know I need to make a decision soon. Can you guys see anything here that I can't? Should I give Sarah a chance? Do you think she really loves me? Well, OP definitely needs to talk to his wife and tell her what he heard. I don't think OP should show her the recording he made. He should keep it to himself and listen to it when he feels weak, wanting to save his marriage, or use it for court if his wife refuses to divorce him. And, of course, I think OP needs to divorce his wife, as there's no way back, and no chance to save that marriage in my opinion. What would you guys do in OP's situation? And now let's hear the community's opinion. Just Mummy Dust says, "You don't want to end up with your second or third option like I did. That would kill me. I doubt I could hide it either. She loves you, yet she openly said that she regrets committing to you. It would be over for me right there." Bog Lyric says, "You sit her down and you say, 'Sarah, I heard you on the phone the other day. I came in from clearing the drive, and I couldn't help overhearing you tell your friend that I wasn't your first choice, and I'm not the love of your life, and that you'd still be with Paul if he wasn't shy of marriage.' And that's it. That's all you say. You do not mention the recording. You let her do all the talking, and then you head out somewhere for a few hours and think about whether her explanation makes any sense to you. Then you can think about what comes next." TMCHD says, "You should be honest with her. You overheard her. Don't give her the recording. Keep that for yourself. In my opinion, if it were based on me, it's not worth it to be second choice or option for anyone. I refuse to settle. Some people, I suppose, don't mind it, the way your wife is, but yeah, I'd not do that. And you deserve to be first, also as in not second choice. If you do stay with her, you have to be aware that this is how she truly feels about you. I'm not saying that her love will not grow, etc., but she did regret settling down with you as you heard." I, male 48, and my wife Anne, female 47, live by ourselves. Our kids have both moved out. I'm the breadwinner and Anne the stay-at-home mom. She's now the housewife after our youngest moved out last year. What's changed is that she says she's owed for raising our kids and taking care of the household. She wants more personal time, less work around the house, and so I've basically taken over almost all the housework, cooking 3 meals, cleaning the house. I'm still working a full-time job, and I never slacked on chores that I did, such as the gardening, hard lifting, etc., and I was never an absent father. I bore it for the past year, but she's gotten more aggressive, outright berating me in front of the kids when they visit that I'm only good for my strength and don't think about the household at all, while she is doing less of the household work. It's gotten to the point that I just want to relax in the car for a good solid minute because I only know there's a long list of things to do. Last night, she went out with her friends, while I slept early for work. This morning, I looked for the car keys for over 30 minutes, which were not in the drawer we always put them in. I woke her up to ask where she put them, and she just grumbled at me to find them myself before going back to sleep. I ended up finding it in her handbag and got to work late. I got home today to her screaming at me for invading her privacy by going through her handbag. I tried to tell her that she told me to find them myself, but she kept cutting me off, saying I should have known better than to dig through her personal belongings, that she has rights and I should respect them, and to wait for her to wake before getting her to find the keys herself. It was when she said she didn't care if I was late to work that I lost it. Her exact line was, "It's not like we're needing that stupid money anymore." I yelled back at her that she was entitled and selfish, and that the only reason she's able to enjoy her current time is because of my stupid money, that she's been having it far too easy the past year, and if she wanted to see what she's owed, she can go back to either working or doing all the chores she's dumped on me. Anne was well shocked that I yelled back at her. The rest of the night was quiet, and she locked herself in our bedroom and hasn't come out. I've called our kids and told them what happened. My daughter agrees with me, but son says that I may have been too harsh to call her entitled, and implied that I undermined her efforts all those years as a stay-at-home mom. They're going to take turns calling Anne, but I now wonder if I've been overboard with yelling at her about taking it too easy. Daughter has suggested couples therapy and said that she's going to suggest it to Anne as well. I'm more than willing to do so, as today's encounter made me reflect that I'm getting extremely tired and weary of this life. Well, I guess everyone will agree with me that it sounds like OP's wife is having an affair. Why would you be so angry about OP checking her handbag? Also, her being a stay-at-home mom does not stop when kids leave. The full household responsibilities still need to be split between them two, and if OP is working, she should absolutely be taking most or all of the other responsibilities. She is currently free-riding OP and is basically extremely selfish. OP's wife needs a reality check in my opinion. Da Devil says, "Not the a-hole. Get your affairs in order. If you still love this woman, get counseling. Regardless, start separating money now. A divorce is going to cut you in half. Getting living expenses if she empties your bank account and bails? Pretty damn hard. Get copies of all pertinent documents, mortgage, passport, savings, car title, insurance. Take control of all accounts, or at the bare minimum, instruct them that all changes must take both of your presence, not signature." She wouldn't do that. Yes, she would. We have problems, but case A, case B, case C, etc., etc. Expect the best. Prepare for the worst. According Step 5433 says, "Not the a-hole. Your wife sounds messed up. Something is very wrong. This is the time when both of you should be enjoying your life together. Something is wrong. She's either having a midlife crisis or an affair. Find out." Still effin' tired says, "She wants a divorce, my dear sir. Get ready to be taken for a ride, because ain't no way in hell. Not the a-hole. Hire yourself a great attorney and wait for her affair to come about. Alimony will be due, but prepare yourself." So, my mother-in-law is the queen of entitlement. Her youngest daughter is 6 months younger than my oldest daughter. She and my wife were pregnant together for 3 months. It was hell. Anyway, when the girls were turning 7, my daughter wanted a party at the skating rink, so we made the plans. Sister-in-law, who is not entitled at all despite being raised by mother-in-law, wanted a party at the skating rink too. So mother-in-law convinced my wife to combine the parties. Fine, whatever. Except she also threw a party for her daughter the night before the skating rink party, in case someone couldn't attend the real party. So when we're all at the skating rink and the kids are having fun, mother-in-law notices that my daughter has a slightly bigger pile of presents than her daughter. She starts complaining that people are showing up without presents for both kids. This isn't whining. She is spitting venom and trying to get the other adults to hate on those who didn't bring her daughter a present. Most of those people had attended the birthday party the night before and had given her presents then, so they didn't bring one to the second party. Mother-in-law said, "If you're invited to 2 parties, you should bring a present for each party," which was asinine enough. But then father-in-law and his brother arrived. Now, my in-laws have been divorced for over 18 years, and my sister-in-law is by mother-in-law's second husband. Mother-in-law goes out of her way to be nasty about father-in-law and is guilty of parental alienation when my wife was still a minor. So it burns her grits that my wife and father-in-law have such a great relationship. When father-in-law and brother show up with only presents for my daughter, my mother-in-law goes absolutely nuts. Now, sister-in-law has quite a load of gifts, and all the gifts from the night before. She's enjoying herself with the other kids, so she doesn't notice that my daughter has a few more gifts than she does. This is all my mother-in-law throwing a fit. She tells my wife that if father-in-law didn't want to bring presents for her daughter, then he shouldn't have come at all. My wife had had enough at this point and finally goes off. She tells mother-in-law that father-in-law had no idea the parties were combined and that he is here to see his grandchild. That sister-in-law has more than enough presents at home and we will never be combining birthdays again. Mother-in-law pretended to suddenly feel sick and went home early, leaving us to clean up the party package she insisted we spring for, but hardly needed. Edit. My daughter's birthday was a little over a week after Christmas, so we celebrate her half-birthday. Wow, just wow! Mother-in-law needs to have her attitude adjusted.